Hi all, I'm Mr. Mendoza, a second grade teacher at Webb Du Bois Charter Academy with Agape Schools. I hope that you enjoy this reading about Now and Ben. He was a famous inventor, but he not only did great things like invent awesome things, but he was also a model citizen. We're going to look at both of how he played an important part of our past by inventing and by being part of our government. But first, the question that we'll think about throughout the text is why might a person from long ago still be important today? Why? We will be looking at we'll be seeing these words in a text: inventions, remarkable, designed, amounts, accomplishments, achieve, composed, and result. We're also going to be looking at root words such as in remarkable, the word remarkable, we have the root word of remark, to be able to say something about someone, to say something about someone. And the suffix is able, remarkable, A-B-L-E is a suffix. We also have small suffixes like the S at the end that makes it a plural. One accomplishment, many accomplishments. The ed is a suffix, but the root word is compose. Ed makes it past tense. We'll also look at adjectives and adverbs. An adjective describes the noun. A hairy dog. Dog is a noun. Hairy is the adjective. An adverb. A hairy dog barked loudly all night long. An adverb tells you that this dog, how did he bark? It describes the adjective. It describes the verb. An adverb describes the verb. The verb was barked. The descriptor or the adverb was loudly. We're going to look at the long O and long E, words with long O and long E. For example, we have OA being grown, then we have roast, and we have OW, bowls, crow, O, and grown. We also have the long E with EA and EE. Seated means and clean. Keeps, speed, and seen. These are words that you can also practice writing in sentences, practice writing them in syllables, and other things. You can also practice these high frequency words. Almost, dear, door, from, money, pushed, remember, sometimes, together, years. We will be writing about the story in the end. It'll be in our opinion. With this, we jump to our first story of Steve Jobs, another inventor that actually, I believe he's still alive. He invented some very important things that we'll read about right now. Did you ever see a simple invention and wonder, now, why didn't I think of that? Well, some inventions might look simple, but it takes imagination to come up with a new idea. That's what inventors do. They use their imagination to think about problems, big and small, in new ways. Steve Jobs was one of the most amazing inventors of recent times. He had a big imagination. He and his inventions helped change the way people all over the world listen to music, use computers to work and play, and communicate with each other and the world. His inventions helped the entire world. All inventions do. Most inventors, they sometimes take an idea from somebody else and make it their own, but just add more to it and make it a better product. Or, here's the problem. Some inventors, they take someone else's invention and they claim it as theirs. And they never give the credit to the person who actually made the invention. That's just a part of life. Jobs started several companies and worked with many people. Together, Jobs and the people who worked with him invented, designed, produced, and sold many amazing new inventions. Wonder, what did he invent? You're probably thinking. Jobs and his company designed a new kind of media player. You know, we have phones right now that we have uh, all of our music on. Well, back then, a long time ago, we didn't have anything like that. But he invented a media player, something you can play and carry all over the place. Jobs said it put 1,000 songs in your pocket. This was a new way to store and listen to music. It also completely changed the way music was bought and sold. A long time ago, we used to listen to big albums, big old albums. Then those albums became a track on a disc, which is about this wide or this long and like this thick. From there, it went to a cassette, which was about that big. After that, it went to a CD. After the CD, we have Steve Jobs' invention, the media player and electronic music. Jobs and the people who worked with him produced new computers. These computers came with ready-to-use programs that changed how people work and play. For example, one program allowed users to create and record music. It is a new and fun way to be a composer. Composers make music. In the past, people composed by writing down notes on a sheet of music paper. This is difficult and slow. Not many musicians simply turn on the computer. Those computers have made a big difference. Before, the first computers that were ever made were for the government, and these computers were the size of a living room. Imagine that. Well, they were huge in comparison to what we have now. Now we have tablets and even our phones, our simple phones. This can be considered a computer, a small computer at least. But uh, we have Chromebooks, we have tablets, we have our desktop computers, which are not very big. Jobs and his company invented a smartphone that could go on, hello, smartphone, and could go on the internet and run thousands of useful and fun programs. They invented a tablet computer. Each of these products changed the way people thought about and used electronic devices. Lots of other companies have rushed to copy the ideas that Steve Jobs and his computer company made popular. You can find all kinds of products today that are based on ideas first thought of by Steve Jobs. Was he really the first one who thought of these ideas? Who knows? He knows. He really knows if it was truly his idea or maybe somebody else's idea that he capitalized on. You never know. Jobs was known as someone who paid attention to detail. He cared how his products worked, but he also cared what they looked like. He poured large amounts of attention and energy into every new product. As a result, the products not only worked well and were easy to use, they were also beautiful. Even his computer company stores are beautiful. That's a fact. If you go into an Apple store, you're going to see some really beautiful products. The organization, I guess he truly is a very hard worker, and that's why people know him for the products that he made. He is he thinks about his products well, paid attention to detail, as it said here, paid attention to detail, and that's why he has what he has now. He also cared for his products, made sure that they worked well, and he also loved how they looked, made sure that they looked good. Steve Jobs was also in charge of the movie company that made the first movie ever to be made totally on a computer. Jobs, what? He made, he was in charge of the movie company that made the first movie ever. He was part of the great minds of that company. So he wasn't the only one, just like with his other products. He wasn't the only one. He had a bunch of people working together. Steve Jobs was also in charge of the money of the movie company. Jobs lived for only 56 years. Oh, I guess he already died. And yet he changed the world. With so many inventions and successes, it is hard to choose his greatest accomplishments. It is remarkable that one man could achieve so much in such a short time. When you watch this video, take a moment and write a few sentences about Steve Jobs and some of the inventions that he participated in or that he created. Enjoy it. I hope that you have fun writing about it. And our next actual story is going to be about Ben Franklin and his famous inventions. So look forward to it.